Ooh, let's talk about it. Yo, this is Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, TBKC, and all that sweet, beautiful, wonderful shit. And, man, let's talk about it. A lot of you have been having concerns with different issues that you see popping up on your health testing, DNA testing, and different things of that. One of the more worrisome things I think that has come up is cancer, right? And the different descriptions of the ability to develop tumors and different things of that nature that have come up in there. I'm going to tell you this, and don't take it too lightly or whatever the case may be, but in dogs in general, it's a lot like people. Most dogs are going to test positive for those things of developing tumors or different traits that they would say are like higher propensity for cancer or whatever the case may be. Definitely most bull breeds. If you talk to people who have English bulldogs, they'll tell you a lot of English bulldogs die of cancer. A lot of bull mastiffs die of cancer. A lot of bull breeds in general, as they get older, they tend to find that they develop different forms of cancer for whatever the reasons is. You could guesstimate because of the mass they carry and different things of that nature, higher hormone levels, and but the reality of it is that the bull breeds in general, not just the American bully, but for years they've had a propensity to develop different types of cancer as they've gotten older. I think the thing that you want to look at is that this is where you go into ancestry. And if your dog did have cancer in its pedigree, and some of the dogs in its pedigree develop different types of cancer, what you want to see is when did it develop, and not to make light of it. And of course, you don't want your dog to develop cancer at any point. But if the dogs, died of cancer and they were like 11 and 12 years old, that's a lot less to worry about. It's still something that you need to address and try to avoid doubling down to make, that situation worse. But it's a lot different than a dog who developed cancer, at 3 years old and died, because that's showing signs for the more aggressive forms of cancer that the dog might have. And this definitely will affect your stock, and it can, tear your whole yard apart if you're using it a lot, And this is something, as we get more and more scientific with our dogs, we just have to sort of chart everything and rate how serious it is. Now keeping in mind that it's never a good idea if the female, say for instance, the female's father died of cancer at 9 years old, then the male's mother died of cancer at 8 years old. It's never a good idea to breed those two dogs together, because you're strengthening the gene, compounding the gene, where you can see it come in a lot more aggressively. And I say gene, but it's more that the genetics are prone and susceptible to those cancers. So the cancer itself is not a gene, but it's something that we have to start looking at, because the American bully is falling apart, at its edges in every way possible, and we have to watch out for the things that are really beating our community down. But when you take the test, do your research. I know some of you freak out as soon as you see anything on those tests. My dog has a chance to get this, oh shit, and you're ready to pass out. But really, study the pedigree and see, because a lot of those tests are just telling you that it's in you to have it. Like some of us might test positive that it's that it's in our genetics, that we are more probable to have diabetes, and we never develop diabetes at all. So it's but it's there, and that there's something that you have to be thoughtful of and mindful of if you plan on breeding, to not compound those genes and make the situation worse. But when you're reading your sheets, use it as a tool and an understanding to start, to guide you in the right direction of where your research needs to be for your dog's genetics. And don't just, freak out if you see, oh man, he got that gene to make dogs blind. A lot of dogs have that gene too, where it's a retinal problem, and be honest, most of the dogs never go blind, but it is there. It is an issue that can come, and it is another issue that for whatever reason seems to follow bull breeds around. And I'm forgetting all of these like exact terms of these different sicknesses and illnesses and whatever it is, but I'm sure if you guys have been doing any DNA testing, you've seen some things pop up on there. Do your research on the pedigree and see what dogs behind these dogs suffered from any of these ailments, and then you'll know how aggressive and presenting the gene will be. Sometimes it's in there and it's just not presenting itself, and it might not be as much to worry about. But definitely if it's been presenting itself in a fashion that is showing up, causing harm or death to some of the ancestors of your dogs, then you got a lot more worrying to do. But until next time, y'all, God bless you. Much love. Peace.